Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, members, for your continued patience throughout this most monumental debate. I rise today in opposition to this effort to conduct mid-decade redistricting as a proud Texan and as a proud native of South Texas in particular. South Texas in particular asked on multiple occasions to please bring live committee hearings and testimonies to the Valley so that the Valley could participate in this debate. Because as you know, to date, we are one of the most economically disenfranchised, disconnected parts of the state. So to everyone who did not get to attend, please know that we continue to fight on your behalf. And again, I stand here in line with those Texans who firmly believe across Texas and the nation that people should choose their representatives and not the other way around. And to everyone in here who states, and to everyone listening who's thinking, well, gerrymandering, this is just politics. This is pure politics. This doesn't really affect me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, politics affects everything. The air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the books that we read or do not allow others to read. It affects everything, and to say otherwise is purely privilege that we cannot take for granted. I stand here today to say if you are from South Texas, this is not about whether you are red or whether you are blue. This is about your voice and your representation. Our valley, South Texas, has unique needs to those comparable to anywhere else in the rest of the state. We're one of the only areas that has sea, land, and airports. So when you create districts in South Texas that sprawl over 200 miles, that stretch you out like string beans from the northern border of Mexico to the center of Texas, tell me, how is that fair and unique to your voice? Some of the districts that we've carved out in South Texas, for example, in CD 34, if anyone looks you in the face and says, this is good for South Texas, it is a lie. This proposed map removes over 294,000 Hispanic voices from South Texas and moves them to north of Nueces County. Again, almost 200 miles away from where you and your family live. That's a 38% reduction in Valley Hispanic voices. If anyone looks you in the face in South Texas and says that that is good for the Valley, it is a lie. And it was not made or drawn for you. The proposed map in CD 34 in South Texas reduces the number of registered voters with Hispanic surnames by nearly 15 percentage points. They are not going to look or sound like you. This plan would more than double the Anglo representation in South Texas. It would increase the Anglo voting population by 135%. They do not look, live, act, or speak like you. They do not know or understand your struggles. There is not a single restaurant, place, or even sporting event that you could go to in the Valley that is 135% Anglo. I've looked. No la vas a encontrar. It's not there. I also rise today to address this growing myth that is being spread. And I guess the thought is, if we keep saying it enough, maybe it will become true. If we keep telling the whole world Hispanics are voting more and more red, the Valley is turning more and more red, if I say it enough, maybe it'll be true. Ladies and gentlemen, this map, this proposed map, is evidence that that is a lie. Not only is it not true, they are so afraid of how fiercely you are about to rise up that we are building walls, carving lines, and destroying communities to make sure that you don't stand up and tell the nation that that is false. I cannot stand by idly and let them continue to perpetuate this lie. Son mentiras. I will never stop being proud of being from the Valley, and I will never stop fighting for our voice. And I'm telling you right now, please, if you respect or care for the Valley, vote no on this map. And when we continue to ask, why would you vote yes? And you say, because we can. I ask you to stop pause, and think of all of the history, horrendous and otherwise, that we've been through because of the masquerade that might makes right. With this great power comes great responsibility, and we know that. It is our job to exercise restraint with our power. Please consider the power of restraint that you have right now for the people of Texas, and South Texas in particular. South Texas, they are drawing these lines because they are very, very afraid of Hispanic voices. And I think they should be.